All right, you guys, I am so excited to do this Zoom tonight. Lindsay and I were talking and we're like, what does the team need? And there are so many people on here. I'm literally looking. I would say more than half of you joined within the last week or so. And it's so fun, but I know that part of it in the beginning of this business is you start and you're like, I have no idea what to do every day to feel like I'm successful, right? Like you kind of feel like you're on this hamster wheel of like, am I doing the right things? Should I be doing more? How do I do this? I kind of feel dumb. It's like this hamster wheel of trying to figure it out. So we wanted to lay it out for you to say, hey, here's what you need to focus on, and here is how to do it. We want this to be like an open communication Zoom. So if you want to stop us, put in the chat and say, hey, can you go over that again? I have questions about this. Please put it in the chat. We will answer every question that is in there. But we are also going to try to keep this Zoom about a half hour, if not less, because we want this to be something that you can go back and watch again and reference again if you need to. So Lindsay, do you want to go ahead and start?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. So I wasn't totally listening to Courtney just a second ago because my husband decided this is a time like to talk to me about things. But I'm super excited, you guys, and I love the topic. I know it's like probably like super cheesy, and it's like, why does she like talking about task lists? But you guys, like, this is what makes our business like happen, are these task lists. And when Courtney and I were putting together the list of things we wanted to make sure that we talked about, there's definitely things that we're like, yes, we have to do this. And one of the first things I'm going to share with you guys and couldn't go over is just talking about posting really quick. Because I know for a lot of us before we did this business, we probably were like, I don't really post on social media that much, or I don't really use my Facebook, but we're on a part of a social media business. So we need to get into the habit of doing those things. So a couple like little pointers. And if you want, like, I recommend taking some notes. You still want to make sure that you're posting stuff that is you. Okay. Like you don't join It Works, and we don't want you to be an It Works robot and all that's on your page. If I went to your page right now, this is something you need to go about. If I'm on your page right now, would I know things about you? Even though I don't know you. Like, let's say Amanda, I'm gonna pick you because I can see your face. Like, if I went to your page right now, like, would I be able to learn some things about you without actually knowing you? And if your answer is, and not just Amanda, but anybody, if your guys' answer is no, that's something you need to think about. Like, I should be able to go to your page, or anybody should be able to go to your page and feel like they know you a little bit. Like, I want to know, like, what kinds of things interest you. Do you have a sense of humor? Are you super positive? Do you kind of like be like super serious? Like, do you have kids? Do you have pets? What are some of your hobbies? And I'm not saying that you have to put everything out there, because I understand some stuff is private. Like, you don't want everybody to see everything, but there are some things that you can put out there that are still like, you could even make a post of like the playground. You don't have to have kids, but it could even be like, took my kids to the park today. Like, I love having the freedom of time. And you can do that without putting your kids' faces on there, but I can tell like you have kids. So that's one thing. Like, you just want to make sure you're still being you. Now, while you're doing that, you want to be making sure that you're posting about the products every day, whether it's you using the products, or you're showing someone else's results, or you're just showing like a picture of a product. And when you're sharing those before and afters, that's important because people can relate to that. People can look at someone else's picture and be like, I feel like that, or I look like that. And if she can use this product and now look like that, what if I can? You know what I mean? Like, it allows them to put themselves in that person's shoe, or in those shoes. And that's really important when we're trying to share what these products can do. Okay. Like, showing people what is possible. When you're take your own product self, you're being a product of the product. You're showing people that you're not only sharing these products with them, but you also believe in them. And that really does something. Like, it's so crazy. And I know, like, some of us, and I was this way when I started, I was like, I'm not posting selfies. That's so, like, I'm not posting pictures of myself. That's so ridiculous, like, so cheesy. But you guys, like, people love that. They love seeing our faces, and they even love more is seeing our face with the product. So maybe you have like a bottle of your Slimming gummies. You can just take a picture, and let's pretend this is the gummies, with the gummies in your hand, and just doing a selfie and be like, look what I got today. Or, you know what I mean? Or like, I don't know what I would do without my gummies. And it can just be you holding it. or your cup of coffee. Like, it doesn't even have to show the coffee in it, but just showing people like, oh my gosh, like, what did I do before Skinny Brew came into my life? Just whatever it is. But like, for some reason, like, people seeing your face and then product, like, it makes them feel like, okay, like, I trust her a little bit more. Like, she really doesn't just like want me to buy this. She uses it too, and she believes in what it does. Or even just like, it doesn't have to be your face or a before and after. It could just be like a picture of the product, like a picture of the gummies, like in your hand. Oh, like, I'm not talking about going to the website and screenshotting a picture of the gummies, or, you could put some of the gummies in your hand. It could be like you holding a packet of the Skinny Brew in your hand. Like, sometimes one of the things I always like to do is like do my coffee and like point my camera down so they can like see. I don't know why, but I feel like people like seem to like that, but I like to show them it's like smooth and creamy. But again, like, it's just showing people the products, and then I'm putting random stuff out there. Like, I like to do interaction posts that, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more in a second, but posts that are going to get people commenting on my post. You guys, like, you want people to like and comment on your post, and that's really important. We'll talk about that later, but it could be like a funny meme. It could be a positive quote. It could be a question, like, something silly like, what is your thermostat set on? Or do you keep your butter in the refrigerator or the counter? What was your first job? Like, anything that will just make people comment. And we'll talk about why that's important later. And then talking about the business, sharing what the business is doing for you. Like, so a product post, a random post, and then a business post is something you should be doing every day. And for the business, I know a lot of you are probably like, well, I just started. What can I even say about the business and what it's done for me? Just be talking right now about how excited you are about starting this new business. Or just say like, I just started my business, but I cannot wait to have enough extra money to pay for my groceries. Or, I know I just started this business, but it paid for my gas this week. Just little things like that. Or, I was able to put my daughter in dance class or put my kids on basketball camp. Whatever it is, start out little and just talk about the things that you're excited to happen. Because again, people are going to be able to relate to you, and people are going to be like, dang, like, I would love to have extra money for gas too. Or you know what I mean? Like, it just gets their mind working. It doesn't have to be like, I worked this business and I was able to pay my mortgage and all my bills. Like, it doesn't have to be anything like that. It can just start out small and really think about what it's helping you do. Maybe it's paying for your date night. Maybe your kids want to go and get Happy Meals once a week and you really can't swing the extra money, but this business can help you pay for stuff like that and not feel guilty. So it's just super important to be posting about you every day and like the things you like, but also your products and your business every day. And if you were to go to my page right now, like, you would see like, you would be able to go to my page and know stuff about me without knowing me. You would know I have kids. You would know, the things that I'm interested in. You would know that I have a sense of humor. I'm sarcastic. But you're also going to see the products and how that's weaving in there. But you're not going to be like, gee, she's like some kind of It Works robot, and that's the only thing she ever talks about. Because also, and I'll shut up in just a second, but when we talk about our host to post in a minute, we're going to talk about why it's important that you don't have just everything It Works, because you're going to be having new people, coming into your network. And you want them to see like she's a real person. She's just not trying to sell me things. So, Courtney, I will be quiet for a moment so you can say whatever.
Oh my gosh, you kill me. I love that you went so in depth. I told Lindsay before the Zoom, I said, you're talking about posting, because every time I talk about posting, I like forget what I want to say. And Lindsay's a beast at training on posting. So I want to say one thing before I continue. Something that I wish someone would have told me and smacked me inside, like upside my head when I started, is know that this business takes time. Okay. And when you're posting, I'm going to give an analogy quick about posting, because it's so easy when you start to look at like my page or Lindsay's page and you're like, how come she can post about the gummies and get 27 comments and I'll post the same thing and I don't even get a single like, right? And it's super frustrating in the beginning, but I want you to think of it this way. My network has looked at these posts for 6.5 years. Lindsay's has looked at it for almost 10 years. Now, not everyone on our Facebook has been around that long, but they've seen this stuff for a while. And I want you guys to think about when you're driving down the road and you see like a billboard, right? And this is what I always talk about. You see when like McDonald's has their Shamrock Shakeout, right? and you're like, oh, Shamrock Shakes are out. Cool. And you just keep driving. You don't think about it again. But then you see it and you're like, oh, I do kind of like Shamrock Shakes. Right. And then on like the third or fourth or fifth time, you're like, you know what? I'm going to go to McDonald's and get a Shamrock Shake today. But the first time you saw it, you were just like, oh, that's cool. And you just kept on going with your life. Right. So I want you to think of that when you're posting, that not everyone is going to see your post and be like, cool, I need gummies right now, this instant. And our customers and people that are commenting on our posts aren't people that this is the first time they saw it. Okay. But the other thing that I want to talk about is growing your network, because on Facebook, only about 1% of your Facebook friends will see your post. Okay. So if you have 100 Facebook friends, that means one person sees your post about the gummies, versus Lindsay or I have 5,000. So we have 50 people seeing each post. And then as we get more interaction, more people will see it and whatever. But I want to talk about growing your network, because I know that, put a 1 in the chat right now. If one of the things you were concerned about when you started was, oh, I don't know a lot of people, or I'm from a small town, or I don't know anyone who would be interested in the products, or I tried to sell something before and I didn't get any customers, right? That was me. I had like 150 friends on Facebook and I was like, yeah, my network, they're not going to want any of this. And to this day, well, now I have 2, but for the first like 3 or 4 years, the only person that ordered from me was my mom. And it's because I took her debit card and I placed an order. I said, congratulations, you're the proud new owner of Hair, Skin, and Nails. Have a nice day. Literally, she had no idea. Okay. So who you are and where your network is right now does not matter. We're going to show you all the things of what to do to be successful every day. Lindsay already talked about posting. I want to share with you guys how to grow your network real quick. I'm going to share my screen just because I want to make this easy for you guys. Can somebody give me a thumbs up when you can see my screen? Thank you, Lindsay. Okay, so this is a random girl on my Facebook, her friends list, or her Facebook. So my favorite way to add friends on Facebook is I go to someone who I'm like, hey, her and I have something in common, or we look similar age, or we look like we would be friends in real life. So she's married with some kids. So that's me. I'm married with a kid and another one on the way. So I went to her page and see, here's her friends list. So you can click right. I'm going to get this little like bubble thing that'll make it real easy to see what I'm talking about. This, I'm going to click this, see all friends, right? At this top left, you're going to see where it says suggestions. So this will show me friends that I have multiple mutual friends with. So this is who Facebook says, hey, I think you might be friends with them. You want to add people that you have at least 2 or 3 mutual friends with. The more, the better. And what I will do, literally, I will go down, I count to 25. Anyone that is a female, I just click add, count to 25. Lindsay, yes, go ahead.
Well, before you got off of this, I wanted to say, and something that I used to do, and sometimes I still do it, but like you could even go to someone that you used to work with or someone you went to school with. And you know what I mean? So you could use that because like maybe like, oh, I went to school with Sally and she probably has people on her Facebook friends that I know, but I kind of forgot about them and maybe I'm not their friend. So it could be an easy way to like jog like a memory too.
Yeah.
So I was just, sorry.
Yeah, but this is just a really quick way to go through and add friends. So I will add 25. For me personally, I'm close to being maxed out on my friends list. So I only do that once a day. When I was first starting and trying to grow my network, I literally did this every 2 or 3 hours. Every time I like thought about it, I went in and sent 25 friend requests. Okay. Next thing you can do is you can go to your groups, right? Let's see one. Here's one for Mooresville Moms. This is where I live. So you can click on, I think it's this button at the top, like the name of it. And you can click see all members. Okay, and then it'll show you the admins, your friends, and then members with things in common. Okay, and click see all. You can go and add people here. So here, 18 mutual friends, 9 mutual friends, 17 mutual friends. Okay, add people through here. You can look at other people that live in Mooresville because that's where I live. You can look at people that are new to the group. Literally, whatever you want. That is an awesome way to grow your network. The other way that I like to grow my network is through host to post. And this is something that, put a 2 in the chat if you have heard of host to post, you've done a little bit of it, and put a 3 in the chat if you're like, what the heck is host to post?
Hey, whenever you're adding your friends like that, how you were just saying, what do you say like if you add someone and they're like they message you and they say, I know you?
That's a good question. I might get like one or two of those messages a week. And in the beginning, I used to want to die when I got those messages. Now I play dumb. I'm going to be totally honest with you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not sure if we know each other. Like I saw you in my friends you may know, and you looked familiar, but I'm not sure. Sorry. And I have never once had somebody respond and be like, I hate you. Don't message, don't add me. Like they're like, oh, I don't know if I know you. Like no one's ever mean. They're just curious. And I had one girl that she was like, oh yeah, you look familiar too. And I'm like, homegirl, you don't know me. We don't know each other, but you think you do, so that's fine. But people just ask that because they're curious. And some people are super private and they might just decline your friend request, and that's fine. We don't need to be friends with everyone. But it's seriously, you guys, between growing your network and everything else we do, it is a numbers game, this business. Okay. Just know that like doing these things day in and day out is where you're going to see those results. Don't base it off of, oh, I'm going to do all these tasks tomorrow. And if you don't see the results, you want to be like, well, this business isn't for me. It took me 3 weeks to sign my first customer, and look where I am now. So just know that it takes time and it's a numbers game. So Lindsay, do you want to talk about a little bit about Host to Post?
Yeah. So that's like one of my favorite things now. And I used to like hate Host to Post and like literally thought it was like the ridiculous thing, but now I can't imagine my life without it. You guys, so lots of you, I should have been looking in the chat to see if Courtney, so there's lots of threes. People don't know what we're talking about when we talk about Host to Post, and we're not going to go super in depth on this just because there are some trainings out there, but we can also do a more in-depth training. But basically like Host to Post, it's asking someone to put up a post on their page for you. And so what that's doing is by them doing that, it's just getting out of your network. So say Courtney's on my friends list and, you know, you'll see our giveaway post. The giveaway we do a team. That's where this stems from, because it's like an incentive. Like, hey, would you do me a favor, put up a post for me? And as a thank you, you can go into my $750 giveaway or whatever we're doing for the month. And most time people either don't respond or like, heck yeah, why not? So but what you're doing is you're having someone else put up a post for you because that way you're getting into their network. So again, if you're someone who feels like I don't really know a lot of people or none of my friends will be interested in this. Okay, well, I can tell you, that's probably not really true. Like you're just so new that they haven't started seeing your stuff. But also, even if your friends aren't, there are lots of people out there and lots of networks that the people are interested. Like I've been doing this business for 9.5 years and I still talk to people every single day that have never heard of our products or that are still wanting our products. So if people on my friends list are not interested, I'm going to go out and find the people that are. So by having let's say Courtney, I'm like, hey, like, you know, would you do me a favor, put up a post? And she says, yeah, she's going to post on her page. Well, guess what that's going to do? That's going to have all of her Facebook friends commenting. And then I'm going to be able to message them and send them info. Now, I'm not really doing Courtney. She's a distributor, but we'll pretend Courtney's not a distributor. She's a random person. You know what I mean? So she's going to have all these people commenting and I'm going to be able to send those people friend requests because we want to get them in our network. So these new Facebook friends, like they're that way, now they're in our network and they're going to be seeing our post. But also I'm going to message that person and say, hey, I saw your comment on Courtney's post about the gummies. I'd love to tell you more. And that's going to have a conversation with a brand new person. So you're adding to your network. And then even if they're not ordering from you right that second, now you've got them added to your friends list. So now they're going to be watching your different posts and they're going to start, you know, like Courtney's analogy about driving by the billboard every day. Now they're going to start seeing that stuff every single day. Okay. And then that's a huge way to grow your network and kind of plant those seeds.
Yeah, and you guys, a couple of things with Host to Post. Someone asked, a couple people asked, like, what if they don't respond to your first initial message? My first thing that I want to say is make sure you are friends with them before you message them, because if you're not friends, it'll go to their request folder, and a lot of people don't know how to go there. Second thing is if I message them, right? Like say I message Lindsay because she commented on a Host post and she reads my message and doesn't respond. In 2 or 3 days, I'm going to message and say, hey, did I catch you at a bad time on Tuesday or whatever? And if they answer, great. If they don't, Great. Again, this is a numbers game, you guys. The only thing you can control is what you can control. You can only control what you do. You can't control if Sally and Susie answer you or not, but you can control if you message them, right? And like Lindsay said, they're now friends with you on Facebook. So I've had people, and it's my favorite thing. I love it all the time when I'll message them from a host to post and they don't answer me. And I'm like, well, that's not very nice. But then 2 months later, they comment on a post for the same product. And I'm like, hi, me again. Tried to give you info months ago, but you didn't answer. I'm not actually that mean, but that's like what I think, right? Because I'm like, yeah, you could have had these for 2 months and had results you liked already. But so if you're watching this and you're like, I've never done host post before, I want you to message either me or Lindsay and say, hey, I was on the Zoom. I want to do host to post. And we're going to have you do two things. We're going to have you put up a giveaway post, and we're going to have you message a couple people to try to get some posts up tonight. So that's going to be your challenge. Whether you're watching this live or you're watching the recording of this, we want to get you doing host to post right away. Correct, Erica. I do not message unless I'm friends with them first. So what I like to do is when someone comments on a host to post, I will send them a friend request and then I'll reply back to their comment and say, hey, I just sent you a friend request so that I'm able to message you. Because my Facebook legitimately does not even let me message people unless we're friends with them. Lindsay, is there anything else you want to add on host to post?
Well, and I'm different because I'll friend request and then I immediately go send the message. I don't wait for the friend request. You guys, I have people that are my customers that like I got the lady, she's been a customer for a few months. She just accepted my friend request. Like I got a notification. Like, so for me, and like our Facebooks are different, Courtney and I, in the way probably we've got our Facebook working with us. But that to me, I don't, because I don't feel that people necessarily see my request, or they might be standoffish. Like, who's this person sending me a friend request, which I know Courtney said she goes back and replies to the comment. But from my experience, I go send the message right away before, because I don't have time to be waiting for somebody to send a friend request. Like I want to get in their inbox and start having the conversation. I'm not saying either way is right or wrong. Like you'll kind of figure out what system is best for you and do what works best. Because then I might have people that still don't see my message. They don't accept my friend request. So I will go back like maybe a few days later and reply and be like, hey, did you see my message? And sometimes they fall off the earth and sometimes you talk to them, sometimes you don't.
Yeah. And with business, you guys, it's not one size fits all. Like you can try different things and see what works for you. I used to do that where I would message people before I was friends with them, but then my Facebook like to this day, I cannot send a message. So I don't have a choice but to wait for their friend request. But if it works for you to do it that way, that's okay. It's even if you're on my team and you're like, oh, but Courtney said to do it this way, I don't care. If it works for you, it works for you. That's all that.
Just want you to get the post up.
Yes, we just do the things.
Somebody asked in the chat, like, what if someone doesn't have Messenger? Like, say they comment on your post. I guess the only thing you could do is if you could look out and be like, what's your number? I don't really know. But I mean, for me, if that happens to me, I just kind of eat it. Like, I don't really worry about it because there's plenty of other people that do have a message. So like Erica, I know you said your mom commented. You could text your mom and like, hey, and you text her and be like, put the post on your page. But if it's someone that you don't know, you really can't do that unless you were like, oh, sure. Like, what's your number? I can send you the details. And if they would do that, you could text it to them. But I feel like there's enough people out there because those people are few and far between. Like, I would probably just chalk it up. Yeah. Or if you just want to throw them a bone, you could be like, here, go share this post about the product for me and just kind of do it that way.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about, does anyone have any questions? And Lindsay and I will probably do in a couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, we're going to do a Zoom dedicated to host to post to answer every single nitty gritty detail you guys have. And like walk you through, share our screens, all those things. But we're going to talk about only 2 more things. Lindsay, do you want to talk about following up or interacting? It doesn't matter.
Can I do interacting?
Go ahead.
Okay, so I know it's on Courtney's, I know it's on mine. You know, you always see us talking about interacting with your Facebook friends and, 10 minutes or however long. Most of us are probably doing that without having it on our list. But the reason that interacting with your Facebook friends is so important for your business is because with Facebook, the more you interact with your Facebook friends, the more Facebook is going to show your post to your friends. Okay. So if you just put up a post and you don't do anything else on Facebook, like you put up your post, put your phone down, come back 5 hours later, nope, nobody commented, you put up another post, put your phone down. Facebook doesn't think that you're like a real person, like trying to be people's friend. Like Facebook wants you to be a friend. So by interacting, and by interacting, we mean liking and commenting on your post. Okay. On your friend's post. Okay. And it's, by doing that, you're showing Facebook that you want to be friends with people. Like you're a real person. Like you're not here just scamming or spam. I don't know, whatever they say. Like you're just interacting with your friends. Like you're just being a friend. Okay. So whenever we talk about doing that, a lot of times it could be just going to your news feed because you don't want to be, and I guess I'll talk about it in a second, but we'll forget I said that. It could be on your news feed. You could just be scrolling through your news feed and interacting. That's a very easy way to be interacting. Something that I was hoping I could show you, if Courtney will give me the power, is to interact with some of your friends. I wanted to share my screen really quick.
I already, you should be able to share your screen.
I didn't even try, so maybe you did. I was hoping to use my phone, but I don't think it's gonna let me. Maybe it will. Please. Oh, nope, it's not going to let me because I'm not smart enough. Wait, what do I have to do? Do it. I think. Please hold for my quick.
Are you doing Bluetooth or with a cord?
I have a cord.
Okay, so then do via cable on your Zoom.
I did that. I didn't. I mean, it's giving me this option on the screen to do screen mirroring.
That's fine. Or I can do mine and
Okay.
just kind of try to figure out what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, I think I could do it. Let's see. Okay. Look, are we doing it? Can you guys see my post?
No.
You can't?
No.
Oh. Well, this is awkward. Okay. Here, let's just stop and look. Well, what I was going to show them was like how to do recent friends.
Okay. Here we go.
See, this is why me and Courtney are great because I'm not really that tech savvy and Courtney's like can do things 112 times faster than me. She's my young, cool friend. So you guys, so one of the things, oh, sorry. I was going to say, just your regular news feed. So you go to your news feed, scrolling through, we do, we can't sleep. You can interact this way, liking and commenting on people's posts. But, you want to make sure that you're not interacting with the same people every single day. So if you go to your profile, we can look at your recently added friends. And I know I said that the other day, and these are friends that are coming. So Courtney, how did you get to that? Just so people could, if they're like not tech savvy like you. So she went to her profile.
So if you click the menu on the bottom right, it should pull up this, and then you'll click see your profile at the top. You'll scroll down where it says friends, you can click see all friends. And then right here, it'll say recent.
Perfect. So, and you guys, so these are your recently added Facebook friends. So the friends that you're adding from those host to post, you can go through here and interact specifically with them because these are your new friends. Like you want to start seeing your too, you start building up that relationship. So this is where you can go to kind of work through those friends to kind of just change it up a little bit because you'll start to notice when you start interacting with different friends, you're going to have different friends that start liking and commenting on your post too. And that's like a super exciting thing because you're like, oh my gosh, like this is working. So it's really important that you are interacting every day because the more in that, when Courtney was talking earlier about, maybe you put up a post and have comments on it. And you're like, well, shoot, I did the post and I didn't get comments. That also could be you're just not interacting enough. And for some of you who are brand new, that's a very good possibility just because we already talked about, weren't that active on social media before this business. So you really need to be intentional about that interacting. And so whenever we talked about it earlier, those random posts, say you put up a post of, your dog. Well, you're going to have, and this is normal, you guys, you might have 100 likes, on a picture of your dog, and then your next post you post about the business and you have nothing. And you're like, what the heck? Like, nobody cares. Like, nobody even cares. But you have to, like, I always get excited. As long as you have people interacting with some of your posts, they're still seeing your post. Like, but people are way more open about liking a picture of your dog than they are with your work from home opportunity or your, slimming gummies, just because that's how people are. Like, they don't really want people to know that they're interested in those kinds of things, but they don't care if you're liking your post of your dog. Okay. But then those interactions you're getting on those random posts, you can take that and you can go and interact with them, or you could go ask them to do host a post for you. Like, it's a whole group of people that you're asking, so you're just generating kind of like lists, but if you're doing a post about, your dog and you're only getting like 2 likes and you have over 1,000 Facebook friends, and you know what I mean? That might just be that you really do need to be interacting more, because if they're not liking pictures of like your dog or your kids or, a funny meme, and then it's like, okay, I need to make sure that my friends are seeing my stuff. I need to spend more time interacting. And one of the other last quick things I was going to say about interacting too is, go spend some time each day sharing love on some of your teammates' posts, because by you commenting on their post, it's going to bump their post up in their news feed. It's showing support for them. But then ideally, they're going to reciprocate that, and they're going to come show love on your post, which is then going to bump your post in your news feed. So that's something to think about too. And this is kind of like off topic, but even when people are commenting on your posts, like, I don't always reply to all of my comments all at once. I kind of do them in batches for that reason. So say you put a post up about slimming gummies and you have 10 comments. I might reply to 5 of those comments, like, saying I'll message you. And then I'm going to hold on to the other ones for a little bit later. That way, because whenever you reply to those comments or when someone else comments, it bumps it back in your newsfeed, and it's going to have a whole other group of people coming to look at it. So even if you do a post, maybe later and you maybe don't have comments, go back later and put a before and after picture in the comments, or, just something to get, because that's going to bump it back in your newsfeed. But like I said, by showing love on your teammates' posts, it bumps theirs, it's supporting them, and they're going to do that for you too. And it helps bump yours as well. Courtney, did I forget anything?
You forgot one thing, but that's okay. I want to talk about it. One other thing with interacting, you guys, is to send happy birthday messages.
Oh,
so I'm going to share my screen again. You guys are probably like, yes, Courtney, we know what your Facebook looks like. But I just want to show you guys how to do this so that because a lot of people are like, how do you know who has a face or has a birthday? So you're going to click the magnifying glass at the top right, and you can just search birthdays. Okay. I do this every day. That's why it's up at the top. So you can just click this, and this tells you every single person that has a birthday. So I'll just go through, tap their name, tap message, and send them a happy birthday message. Okay. Super easy to do.
Wait, did you say her birthday message? I don't think you did your birthday today, did you?
I didn't yet. No.
Yeah, look at her calling her out.
I know. I normally don't do birthdays. Is normally what I do when I'm laying in bed at night before I go to sleep.
Okay.
I don't know why. That's just what I do. But
okay.
So the last thing that we want to talk about.
Wait, can I say one more thing?
Yes.
About that? I'm sorry.
You scared me. Yeah.
So you guys, the reason birthdays are important, so it's just being a friend. You're just being a friend by wishing people happy birthday. And the reason that we do it in a message versus on the wall is because I feel whenever people are telling you happy birthday on your wall, it just gets lost in the shuffle. It seems very impersonal. It's just kind of like happy birthday, everyone moves along. But when you put it in a message, you took the time to specifically search me and type that message to me. And I just feel like that just shows a little more attention to detail. You're taking the time to really acknowledge them. And I just think that just is another personal touch that we're real people. We're not just a robot. But whenever I do it, it's just happy birthday. That's all I say. And then when they reply and say, thank you, I say, you're welcome. I hope you have a great day. Just short and simple. And you guys, sometimes that's all it is. And it's just a friend. That's it, and people will be like, oh my God, thank you so much. But other times I've had people say, oh my gosh, thank you. And I've been meaning to ask you about that stuff, that you're selling or posting about. I've just been so busy. or it's someone that I've already talked to about the products and the business. And they're like, oh my gosh, like I haven't forgotten about you. Things are crazy. Like I'm still interested in that stuff. Like it just is a way to kind of get the conversation going again. So that's kind of why but if you did it on their wall, you're not going to get that one-on-one conversation. It's just going to be happy birthday and they're either going to like it or comment and that's the end of it. So that's just why that's really important to do. It's just to be a friend.
Yeah.
So.
And doing it through Messenger, you guys, Facebook gets very happy when you send someone a message and they answer. And almost everyone will say thank you when you say happy birthday. So that's very, very good for your Facebook.
Sometimes they'll do a thumbs up and I'm like, you're welcome. Have a great day.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, come on, man.
I hate thumbs up. I wish Facebook would get rid of it. But anyway,
the nice middle finger, I feel like.
It is. It's like a nice way, whatever. The last thing we're going to talk about is following up, you guys. This, I'm not going to go super into detail because there were 8 million ways to do this. Point blank though, what this is you need to somehow, some system, whether it's in your phone calendar or planner, in your notes, on a notebook, literally whatever. People do so many different things. You need to keep track of people you're talking to, potential distributors, potential customers, and check back in with them. Okay. For me personally, I check back in after 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. I've also had times in my business where I just follow up as I see fit because that's when I think of it. Literally whatever, as long as you're following back up with people. Because how many of you have went to order something or have went to look at something and then you get distracted because your kid spilt Kool-Aid on your cat and you're like, hey, great, guess I'm not doing this right now. Lindsay, I don't know. I literally always think of that when I don't even have a cat. Okay. But it could happen, especially with Lindsay's kids. I could see Jace or Ava spilling Kool-Aid on your pets. Okay. I'm just saying. So you never know if they got busy, right? Or how many of you have gotten an email from Amazon or whatever, and they're like, you left something in your cart, and you're like, no, ma'am, I just didn't want to get up and get my debit card at that time. Okay. I'm coming back. Right. But you forgot about it at the time. So follow-ups are not you being mean and annoying. It's literally just you saying like, hey, you were interested in this. Do you have any other questions? Hey, I sat down to put some orders in. Is now a better time for you? Literally whatever, just staying in touch with them. And then the last thing that we want you guys to do every day is to stay connected to the team, to the company, all of the things. So 2 group pages that we want you to check every day. And you guys, you don't need to spend a lot of time, but just go to a page. Let me show you guys how to do something. So we're going to share my screen again for the 8 millionth time.
Gosh, somebody's bragging that they can share their screen.
You know, it is what it is. So these 2 right here, the Next Level and Road to VIP. Okay. You can search them. I have them saved and I will show you how to do that. But so let's go to Next Level. Okay. So you can, if you click here, sort, you can sort by new posts. So this is what you can just come back in real quick every day, see if there's anything going on that you need to see about. Okay. To do, when you go to your groups, I don't remember how to do the shortcut. So never mind. I'm not going to show you how to do that. But just Road to VIP and Next Level. Road to VIP is from corporate. Next Level is from our team. So those are the 2 that you just want to go in every single day, check out, see if there's anything else, and just check your team chats, see where you can plug in to the team, right? So someone said to me today, they're like, oh my gosh, you have Zooms every single day. Most days we're just on Zoom hanging out. My team, we're on Zoom almost every night, just playing music, hanging out, getting some work done. If you can hop on, hop on. If you can't, it's okay. But it's just really nice to stay connected because when life gets busy, not only is it nice to have friends, but it's nice to be just like brought back and you can take a half hour, focus, get some work done, and then get back to everyday life, right? So just try to plug in where you can, because that's going to keep you in the know of what's going on, but also excited about what is happening in the company and in your business. So, Lindsay, is there anything else you wanted to add before we ended it?
I don't think so. I think this was like really good. I haven't learned because I don't ever sort because I look at the groups too every day, but I don't sort by the newest. I'm always like scrolling like a freak. So that I learned something new there. You're always way more organized and efficient than I am. But yeah, you guys, like, I mean, it sounds so ridiculous, but that's literally like things that we're doing every single day. And maybe the tasks have changed a little bit over the years, but literally that's how we've worked this business for years. And that's how we've gotten to where we are. It's just by working our task list every single day and talking about the business and the products every day, being ourselves, being a friend, following up, growing our network, you guys. Like, that's all you're doing here. And it's just kind of being intentional with the way you're doing it. And that's one of the most, consistency is so important in this business, and being intentional, because we all have all this time in the day. But if we're sitting here and we're just like, blowing like in the wind, and, we feel like we're doing things, but we're not really being productive, like just being intentional and focusing on this task and what it's going to do for us and how we do it. Like, that's how you get results, and just doing that every single day. So, I encourage you, if you aren't in a place where you get a task list, I think everybody in here probably is, like, reach out to us. We can send one to you, copy and paste it, and you just do that every single day. But that's, Courtney and I follow these same task lists. These are things we focus on every day. And many of the top leaders are going to tell you the exact same thing. Like, these are the things they're doing to grow their business every single day. So I think this was awesome. And I appreciate this so much, Courtney, that you put together this little topic, because I think it's really important, especially being new. It's just a little more in depth and hopefully helped everyone.
Yeah. And you guys, in the beginning, when you start doing this task list, it's going to feel like a lot, and it might feel kind of hard and like it's taking you a little bit. But as you keep doing it consistently, you're going to be able to knock this out so fast. And my biggest tip for you guys, because I know almost everyone that's brand new, you guys still work another job or 2 other jobs, or you have kids or whatever, and life is busy. When you have a task list written on your phone, literally, what I did is, like, if I was waiting in line at the grocery store, I'd look at my task list and I was like, what can I do this for 2 minutes? Literally. Or if I was peeing, like, literally any single time. So when you have a task list, you know what you can focus on. And the more you do it, the easier it's going to get. But just the consistency of it and doing it is going to get you the results that you want. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. Put a 4 in the chat if you feel like you kind of have a better understanding of what to focus on every day and how to do it. I'm going to put this up on my YouTube tonight. I will put the link in my chat, and then Lindsay, I will text you the link too. So you guys can hop back on this and watch it again if you need to. And please, please, please do not be afraid to message me or Lindsay and say, hey, I was on the Zoom, but can you explain this more? Or can you go, like, help me more with this part? I want more help here. But we are here to help you guys, and we just want to make sure you guys have every resource possible to be successful. So I hope you guys have an awesome night.